Welcome back, traders. Second portion of our show, Market Movers, and looks like we got some drug companies that don't have the right prescriptions for the drug price. Stock price.
Lots of drugs. Yeah, Joel, lots of drugs in the news today here. TRGT and AstraZeneca. So TRGT is Targacept, and AstraZeneca, the phase 3 of their joint venture on that drug. I don't know what the drug is, just a bunch of numbers, but didn't go too well. And AstraZeneca is pretty diversified. They have a lot of drugs. Obviously, TRGT doesn't have as many, so TRGT is trading down 55% here right now. Closed 19.12, trading at $8.55. That is just destroyed here. $10, I was looking at the chart. If I went back a few years, I could see some support there, cut through there like a hot knife through butter. But if we get back up into that 10 area, maybe that becomes resistance now, Joel. What do you think on TRGT?
Wow. I mean, it's just, it was a $16 stock, and now it's a $7 stock. I mean, just intuition just tells me to buy it off the open and look for it to fill this gap here. I'd either buy it or stay out because I just can't see short stock, that's down this much. Looking back to July of 2009, the stock went to $2, came up from $2. So I don't really see that coming in to play. Or just stay out and see what happens at the $10 level. As you said, AstraZeneca is a little bit more of a diversified company, so they're probably not being as hit as bad by this. I do see a low in that stock at $47, $47.05 back a few days ago, so that will be resistance. Also, we bottomed out at $46.03 in October. But below that, if they're just going to really go into sell-off mode here, I'd be looking out for this 44.32 level to come into play.
Yeah, I'm looking at that AstraZeneca chart, seeing that same 46. We actually topped out there. If we go back in early September with some resistance, we broke out there through in early October, came back, retested 46, held mid-October. So maybe in pre-market it seems trading 46 right now. So this 46 number seems to be a pretty good magnet. So maybe use that for a swing number. If it cuts through there, then it starts to open up a bit, but maybe it does get a little bounce off there. So I'd use that maybe for my swing number on AstraZeneca. Looking over here though at that TRGT, I don't know. I think I'm just going to stay away from that one today too. That's too wild for me. When you got these drugs, I can remember like Dendrions and the different ones. When they're only on one or two drugs, those things can really go anywhere. So it makes it kind of scary. But there is some other drugs in the news here. Lilly is and Amylin, which is AMLN. They had a drug that didn't do that well either. And Lilly is actually just cutting off their joint venture with that altogether, letting Amylin have that drug. So Amylin's trading down 11%. Lilly actually was trading down pretty significantly. Trading down as low as $37 earlier this morning, but now it's come back quite a bit. $38 trading right now, so it's only down 35 cents. I mean, Lilly's one of your biggest drug makers. One drug doesn't really make usually a heck of a lot of difference when they're just in their trials, if it's not one of their major cash producing drugs, because they've got a lot of drugs that are going through trials all the time. So, but it is trading down a little bit here. I was looking at this 38 that it might have provided support. If it's below there, probably resistance. So maybe use 38 for your swing number. What do you think on Lilly, Joel?
Well, I think Lilly, you did have great support here at this 37.60 level. You had a triple bottom there, and we did take it out in the pre-market. So I would use this 37.60 number as support. If we break below that, I would look for a test of this 37.25 or at the pre-market lows at the $37 level. I mean, it's not horrible news for Lilly, but it's not great news as well. Now, Amylin, on the other hand, what's that, AMLN?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, here's a stock that was holding, 1050 for the longest time. We broke through there, so that should be resistance coming back up. I do see a low here at 965 back on October 18th, so that should be support. Below that, we could easily test the $9 level. $8.99 was the low back on October 6th.
Priceline reported earnings after the bell. Stock had a wild ride, was trading down to the, I think it was traded as low as 475. Maybe you can correct me on that yesterday, Joel, after the bell. But, and then it started to pop up here and actually is trading up right now pretty significantly. 523. I look at this 520 area, or even this 523 area. Looks like some resistance here. So I think this is going to be the first stopping point. If for some reason you can get above that area, then you'd think about the 540. Coming back down 500, obviously huge psychological support, but I don't know if that's going to come into play here or not today, Joel. What do you think about Priceline?
Yeah, do see those tops there actually at 524.42 was a high back on October 27th. But the major resistance here stands at 526.75. Which was the high on October 28th. So if you're playing it from the long side there, I'd be looking to exit anywhere above 526.50 to 527. Coming in the pre-market, the last few breaks have come down to this 521.50 level. So if we break down below 521.50, could easily test yesterday's high at 519.
Honeywell getting an upgrade over at who upgraded? Citigroup. Citigroup's upgraded Honeywell. 54.84 is trading right now after closing at 53.96. So, getting a nice lift off that upgrade from Citigroup there. Looking at the charts, I was going to say, this 50, well, actually, if we go to a real tighter chart here, we can look and say this 54 area breaking above this is pretty key for the stock.
Yeah.
If it was to pull back, now I think that becomes support. Above 54.50, that was really, where we topped out there 4 or 5 days ago, so that might be an area there too, Joel. What do you think on Honeywell?
Yeah, 54.52 was the high back in the stock not too long ago, back on December 27th. So I'd use that as my swing number. If I was playing it from the short side at all, it started to pull into this 54.50 area, I think I'd have to take it off or think about a long. Below that, 54.05 was yesterday's high. To come down and fill the gap. But really, when you're looking at a longer-term chart after this, things really seem to open up after this 54.50 level, really up almost to $60, but don't think we'll see that today.
McDonald's had same-store sales come out a little while ago, MCD. The stock obviously been making new all-time highs here, 94.62. Closed at yesterday. High is 94.70. Looks like it's going to take that out today as they're liking the same-store sales. $95 has some size there. That's probably your first stopping point. Maybe it opens there, starts to take out that 95, then, it starts to open up. And always I say when stocks are breaking out a new territory, whole numbers always seem to come into play. So I'm not sure where, the next stopping point is, but I'd, pretty much guarantee there'd be something at 96. But 95 is definitely the first stopping point at McDonald's. What do you think, Joel?
94.70 yesterday's high, 94.70 yesterday's high, also the all-time high. Use that as your swing number. If you're short at any point during the day, we come down to that area. Use that as support. And also you have the close right there. So McDonald's just goes higher.
WMS Industries trading down here significantly. 1997 trading after closing 21.95. The symbol on that is WMS. It's been trading down here all morning, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty bad day for the stock here, down 10%. Looking at it, $20 probably gives you a little psychological support, but I don't really see that much there, Joel. What do you think on WMS?
Yeah, 1976, a good year it was. Was the low back on October 26th. 1976 was the number. We look poised to test that in the pre-market. Below that, I think we're coming to $19. 1903 was the the low on October 20th. Bill Smith Industries, what do they make? Slot machines or something?
Always throw me under the bus on all these things. Yeah, I think it is, though. It's in the gambling industry, but I'm not sure exactly the products they make. Maybe you're right with the slot machines, but definitely in the gambling industry. So maybe people aren't gambling as much as they were before. I'm not sure. So.
Seems to me I read a negative piece in Barron's about them a couple weeks ago, but can't remember for sure. Anyways, Dennis, we got any other market movers?
Well, we got a few small ones. Red Hat got a downgrade over there at UBS, so it's actually trading down just slightly right now. I mean, the market's up, so that's pushing the stock up a bit, but no real trades. There's just been 100 shares actually traded there. It is offered down a little bit, though, so it looks like Red Hat could possibly, be pulling back here a bit today with that downgrade. Maybe get a little stopping point at the $50 psychological level, but I don't really see much there either. What do you think on Red Hat?
Well, I don't know about the downgrade, but if this thing breaks above 50.77, you got to ride up to the $52 level. Hanging right here at the close. You actually had three closes here at 50.58, 50.59, and 50.61. So I'd use that as a swing number. If you can get above and hold that area, I'd shrug off the downgrade on the Red Hat.
There's lots of movers here today, but nothing really major jumping out at me other than the stocks we just mentioned. Is there anything else you want to close with here, Joel?
No, just for a quick recap of the S&Ps, after hitting that 1267.50 level, we've pulled back here, trading in the 1264 area. Look for a test of the Globex high early in the session. Perhaps we'll get a pullback to yesterday's high or the close for support. That's our show for today, folks, and we'll be back with you tomorrow.